Welcome back to Close the Mail South Africa. Now, Lebo Nke, who's executive at Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator, joins CNBC Africa for a quick conversation on the local employment trends, particularly among the youth. Take a look.
I think that the latest statistics reflect what we've been seeing over time. Youth unemployment is still a concern. I think 2 out of 3 young people in South Africa are unemployed.
I remember last year it was 65%, yes.
Yes, that's around that same figure.
Yeah.
Every year we've got 1 million young people who are entering the labor market, and only about 300,000 are ending up in formal employment. The rest are not in employment, not in training, and not in education. And this is really the focus of Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator. And we are looking at young people who are NEETs, who are not able to find employment, and those who specifically are excluded from the formal economy.
Lebo, now I remember where I saw you. It was a Buser event. And you had this video where you guys had taken a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old through a software course, and now they were actually employed. Now I remember. Give me a sense of how essential it is to actually have the youth that are tailor-made for the market right now.
Well, what we see a lot out there in terms of like the barriers of young people and why they're not able to get into employment is that, well, obviously there aren't enough jobs that we know. But even where we see that there are opportunities, we're not able to connect the right young people to those opportunities. So the example that you're talking about is one of the things that Harambee is looking at in terms of trying to catalyze new jobs, specifically in the digital space. We had a young lady called Kayakazi from Kailicha. Kayakazi basically was unemployed about 1.5 years ago. She had completed matric with not really great marks, 21% for maths. And with results like that, she'd not be able to get into university. But through partnering with others and thinking about innovative ways that we can prepare young people who are likely to succeed in jobs, we were able to get her into a data analytics program. And she's now working as a junior data analyst and doing really well. Now, if you're taking Kayakazi just on the basis of her school marks, she would not have been able to get into that opportunity. And so a lot of what we're doing is trying to understand young people and looking at them through different lenses to try and understand what is it that they can succeed at. So often we just focus on skills and on qualifications. But our view and our experience is that there's so much more.
Lebo, my biggest issue is many people look at the unemployment figures on the surface, and I believe the problem is actually coming from down. You cannot tell me that you do have a curriculum, you do have a syllabus that is predating the matric system, that is over 40 years or 50 years old, and you've not adjusted that, and there's been innovation from the microchip, the semiconductor, all this stuff has happened in the past 50 years, and there's not any of that being captured in the system. Is it time for us to actually look back into the system and have maybe the likes of software engineering in some of these courses? Have simple things like Java or C++.
That's absolutely true. I mean, I think that we have to rethink the way that we're preparing our young people for the world of work. But opportunities that we've seen are not just in digital jobs. So there are other jobs that we feel that we could catalyze growth in some industries. So, for example, the global business services sector. Those are jobs that young people can get into without any tertiary qualifications and can still succeed in those. We're looking at roles in installation, repairs, and maintenance, where young people just basically need to install, maintain, and repair. Exactly that. But I think that we've become so fixed on qualifications that we lose a lot of talent that is out there.
Lebo, thanks for that. If I am a young Lebo out there, if I'm 18, if I'm 17, how do I get in touch? Very briefly, Lebo, we're out of time.
www.harambee.mobi is the Mobi site that they can use to apply to Harambee.
Now the conversation there with Lebo Nke, who's an executive at Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator. Let's move on.